G'day everyone, welcome to our first episode of the BMBA Podcast. I'll give it a few minutes while everyone, if there is everyone, is getting on board. Just to give you a bit of background, you'll see there's my assistant in the background. He keeps annoying me, so he'll settle down in a minute on his couch. He doesn't, there he goes. He doesn't like it when I do a podcast. I do another one, and he definitely gets on that couch when we go. So, tonight, the purpose of this podcast, we've sent a bunch of people out emails. We're trying to get information out about our competitions and training programs that we're running. There has been a bit of interest sent our way, so we thought it was a really good time. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some of my backup drives here in the right spot. Oh, God, sorry. Hold on, guys. Good start. So tonight, we're going to each week on a Monday at 7 o'clock get on board and do a podcast and just go over all the ins and outs of all the ins and outs of what's happening at BMBA Basketball. So, tonight we're just going to be covering off on what we've sent you all out via email, and hopefully that also gives people the chance to ask them questions. We will be looking to do some certain coaching things in these podcasts. We hope to get some guests on as well, just to talk about basketball, and also go through some highlights for our BMBA participants. So, for example, what happened on the weekend, upcoming events, all that sort of thing. And hopefully it becomes a really regular, not hopefully, it will become a regular episode every Monday at 7 o'clock, and people can take advantage of it, which then gives a lot of people an opportunity to also ask questions. So speaking of which, I'll get my chat up. Just start typing for the center. I don't want that. That's not chat. There's my chat. So if you do have questions as I'm going through this, please feel free to send them through via the chat. So, well, without any further ado, it's just gone a couple minutes past 7. What I will do is tonight, I'm just going to give an overview of what we're currently doing at the BMBA, both for BMBA participants and then for those who may be interested. So you could be a parent who, for example, is interested in what we're doing. You could be a club interested in our competition. You could be someone who's running their own academy. We've had a few people reaching out on that. And hopefully by the end of this thing, it should hopefully take no longer than an hour, hopefully, maybe even less. But you can send me through some questions. And if we do get some questions and discussions, it could go for a bit longer. But if there's things you might want us to talk about, feel free, send that feedback through, and I'll do my best to answer them. So coming to you live from my home office, so excuse all the stuff in the background. I think it's in a pretty good state. We will get started. So I'm going to have to don the glasses a little bit, so excuse me for that. We're going to be sharing the screen a little bit to begin with, so we can go through everything on offer. So if you're a parent, for example, we're going to go through first the programs that we offer, a parent that might be interested, and then we're going to go through the competitions that we offer. So first thing we'll go through is our Kids First program. And all this is available on our website, which I'll show you at the end. Our Kids First Basketball, as it says there, it's an introductory program. This is for beginners between 5 and 10. We run them out of De La Salle College on a Wednesday. And we run them out of Stonington Sports Centre on a Friday night and also a Saturday. So the Friday nights are between 6 and 7. Saturdays are between 5 and 6. And De La Salle is between 4:30 and 5:30. So that's typically an after-schools program. Excuse me. So the De La Salle one, most of it's done indoors, but every now and again, because they have exams and school events, that can be done outdoors on their outdoor courts there, whereas Stonington is at the magnificent Stonington Sports Centre. That's obviously always indoors. The temperature control's the best I've seen, and it's a fantastic facility just to be conducting that sort of thing. We don't have a huge amount of enrollment yet in our Kids First. Our Basketball Plus program's proving to be very popular. We've got a few kids into that. We hope in the coming 12 months that we're going to have a lot more. It doesn't really matter though, because we can conduct 2 sessions at the same time. There's no issue with that. And we've been doing that very successfully over the journey. So talking of Basketball Plus, let's take you to that one when I get it up. Sorry, guys. Basketball Plus, there we go. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. So our Basketball Plus sessions, you might have kids who are playing with a team, but they're not quite happy with the coaching they're getting. This is by far our most popular program. We do it Wednesdays between 4:45 and 6:15. We also do it's between 6:15 and 7:45. Some of the kids we got do both. And then on Friday nights, we have it on Saturdays, we have it between 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. and also between 6:30 and 8 p.m. Now, of those 2 sessions, our first one is probably for kids who aren't as far along. Our second session, our latest session, are for kids who've been playing basketball for a bit longer and they're displaying a little bit more advanced skills. So we make that second session a little bit more challenging. Having said that, we can, again, just like with the Kids First, we can accommodate different standards at different ends and whatever we do. But we try and bulk as many of, for example, if you want to call it Basketball Plus Light at the first session and the Basketball Plus Advanced in the second session, where it's a bit more challenging. We don't want to put kids into programs that are too challenging, because that then destroys confidence, doesn't build it. So for those kids who are really keen, what we call a gym rat, and they want to do multiple sessions a week, then what we have is our IDP program, which stands for Intensive Development Program. So, you've got your kids that want to come out and they might be playing, but they want to do another 2 training sessions a week. They love what we're doing. We do those Wednesdays between 6:15 and 7:45 at DLRSL, and then on Saturdays between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. at Stonington. Now, don't forget all these. We've got a dedicated webpage to all of these programs, so you don't need to stress on them too much. But IDP, we've got probably half a dozen in that now that are doing 2. We've got a couple of boys doing 3 sessions a week. They're that keen. So we don't push them to do that. That's their choice. But if they want to do that, we're quite happy to accommodate it. Now, most excitingly, and this applies to both individuals, clubs, teams, just recently this term, we've now started running our first lot of games at Stonington. And we call this our Games Plus program. So if you're a parent who's got a child and they want training and games, for the first time now, we're offering on a Friday night, the kids can do one of our Basketball Plus sessions, and then they get a game on the Friday. So the game on the Friday for under 12s is at 7 o'clock at the moment, and for under 14s is at 8 o'clock. Our under 12 game is a mixed game. Our under 14s is for boys. We hope to have both boys and girls competitions in those age groups as we recruit more numbers in. But the kids get more court time. They get 60 minutes. We've been fiddling with a fully timed game. So for those who don't know, a fully timed game is every time the whistle goes, the clock stops. So if there's a sub or a foul or a violation, the kids aren't losing any court time. If there's a timeout, the clock stops. So we do 4 6-minute quarters, and the clock stops on every whistle. That's what we've probably settled on. And the kids get a 60-minute game in. So in our first 2 or 3 weeks, we've been experimenting a little bit, but that's what we've landed on, and that's finishing right in the 60-minute schedule. It's a fantastic way of doing it, because the kids are going to get longer court time. They don't miss out on any playing time, and that means coaches can make sure all their kids are getting the extra game time they need to develop their skills. So they're going to get longer game time, better coaching. Our goal is to get a referees branch that is going to provide better officiating and better service, because I think that's something that a lot of the referees branches tend to miss out on. And that's going to make for a better game. And on top of that, we have better features. So, for example, in all our games, we will be running with the shot clock. We're training up our parents to be able to do that now, and it's worked quite well in the games we've had so far. So already longer game time, fully timed, shot clocks. There's 3 features. You're not going to find it in any other game, including in most rep formats. So we want to build these competitions up so it does become a mini rep program that is of a high standard, high quality, brings in great coaches, great officials, and we can do it within a smaller demographic compared to rep ball. So that will be our Games Plus program. For clubs, we call it the BMBA Invitational as well. The Games Plus is more targeted towards BMBA participants. As you can see in that photo, we form them into teams. I'll go over the Invitational in a minute. It's very similar. Now, the IDP Games program, for those parents that were keen, they're the gym rat kids. They want to do 2 training session weeks. They want that game. So it's just basically the games program, but they do an extra training session per week. So to differentiate that, we call that the IDP Games. So the Games Plus is linked in with the Basketball Plus training. The IDP Games is linked in with the IDP training. So that's the only real difference. The rest of it is very similar. Same game features, 24-second shot clock, 60-minute game, fully timed, great coaching, great officiating is our goal at the end. And it should end up being a tremendous sort of competition. Did I share that? I don't think I did. What was I sharing last? So, sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to this. I'll get my little flyer up for the IDP Games. Where are they? Here it is. So that's what we're talking about there, the IDP Games program. All the training runs we just listed are done before, and their game is, as what we said, the under-14 games is 8 o'clock. The under-12 games are at 7 o'clock. As more teams enter and more participants get in, those game times may vary as we move forward, and we'll have to get access to more courts, both at Stonington Sports Centre and other satellite venues, which we're already ahead of the game on. So we've got space to grow our competitions into. There's no other competition in the area like what we're doing. So it is fairly unique. Your child is not going to get a 60-minute fully timed game with shot clocks, independent, elite level trained coaches, and the sort of refereeing, officiating that's going to be all about development. Now, I'd suggest I'm about to move on pretty quickly into the Invitational, which really is specific for clubs to come in and get involved with. So we would love to have other clubs come in and play our BMBA teams. We're not fussed if we grow it organically and it's just all BMBA. We think, though, it's a great format for other people to get involved from other clubs. Now, we can do that multiple ways. Whether you're a school, a club, an academy, you can either form your own teams and enter them, or if you like, we can do it for you. So you just send the kids our way, and we're quite happy to provide them uniforms, coaches, training sessions, and get them started. I think that's particularly appealing for primary school teams. So you don't have to worry about finding a coach. We'll find a good coach. We'll get them a good training session. We'll organise them into uniforms. And, for example, they can become, if they go to St. Joseph's somewhere, they can become the BMBA St. Joseph's Warriors or something like that. So we can do that, or you can enter them yourselves. The next one in particular applies to our clubs. So we'll get that up. Replace. All right, guys, just got to find it. Here we go. Now, these are the Invitational. So we'll go in here. So the Invitational, the BMBA Games program is very similar to the Invitational. So as you can see from these are the reasons we do it. Longer game times. So if you're from a club, or even if you're an individual with another club, you're probably getting 40, 45-minute game times. The clock will keep running from the majority of the game, of not all of it. I know in some competitions that we've played in, even in the last 2 minutes, the clock just keeps running. So a kid will walk to the foul line and take nearly a minute to shoot 2 free throws to stop, so the other team can't get a chance of winning. We don't like that. A game should be won by the better skill, not by the better gamesmanship in a game. And also, we don't like the fact that kids, someone shooting a free throw and their game time is slowly clicking away, or there's a foul, or the referee has got some issue with the score bench. In our games, we can stop the clock in those situations and they don't lose court time. When the coach calls a timeout, the clock will stop. So we have 4 6-minute quarters, fully timed. The kids don't lose court time. In fact, they get longer court time, even though it doesn't sound that way because of 6-minute quarters instead of, for example, 80-minute or 20-minute halves. It's actually a longer game because the clock's stopping every whistle. Whereas in those 18 or 20-minute games, the clock just keeps running. So we don't do it that way. In what we're doing with the Invitational, we're going to have a unique season structure. So we're going to usually have a winter season and a summer season, and we're going to and you divide that across 2 terms, or you spread that across 2 terms, I should say. We're going to divide that into term series. So we're still going to have a season, but at the end of every term, we're going to have a round robin tournament, knockout tournament. So during the season, we're actually not going to keep ladders. So this is something, again, very unique. Everyone's going to play each other. That's going to allow us to add extra teams as they come on. And what we'll do is get everyone playing, and the emphasis with the coaches, with the referees, with everyone involved is going to be on developing the kids' skills, their game knowledge, how they go about it. And it's going to take the pressure off both players and coaches and everybody involved, parents, about, winning. Because when you get to that, for example, a coach won't let a certain player bring the ball up the court because it might, not get them a win, which then affect their position on the ladder. Or, a coach might be reluctant to make his kids try to go to their left when they're a right-hander because they might miss a layup and all that sort of thing. Coaches might not embrace bylaws, for example, like a matchup rule or a fallback rule because they think it disadvantages their teams. Well, here there's no disadvantage. We're going to keep scoreboards. We're still going to have wins and losses. We're just not going to keep a ladder. What we may do is look at those results to decide the rankings when we come to a tournament. So the coaches that, for example, that coach the best and develop the best, they will then get the best results at the end of season tournament. So there's going to be 4 opportunities. One at the end of every term, we play a round robin tournament. So we've got a mid-season. We'll have a mid-season one for summer season, for example. So that'll be the end of term 4. At the end of term 1, we'll have what we call a championship tournament. So we play off that. And then in the same thing again at the end of term 3, we'll just have a quick round robin tournament for our final series for that term. And then at the end of term 2, I should say, at the end of term 3, we then have another championship tournament, but that will be our ultimate championship. So there will be winning and losing, but it'll come at different times where we're going to, for the most time, we're going to be encouraging coaches to develop. And once you've developed properly for 8-9 weeks, then we're just going, okay, now it's about winning. So we're not going to be a group that says every participant gets a trophy or anything like that, for those who get concerned about that. But we do want to make sure that not only our kids develop, the players, but the coaches develop, the referees develop, and we can take a little bit of the pressure off so they can get that development done. So, shot clock's going to be in use for all games. Most kids don't get to play with these. At Stonington, there's 4 courts that have all got shot clocks. So we figure, why don't we use them? And we've used them so far. In our junior games, 12s and 14s, the shot clock doesn't start until the ball crosses half court. In 16s and 18s, it starts as soon as there's a change of possession or a shot is missed and rebounded. So it just gives us another feature, and the kids can now really relate to their NBA and NBL champions, and they get an opportunity, to draw up a play. So because we stop the clock on every whistle, a coach, for example, when there's 6 seconds to go on the shot clock, if he wants to or she wants to, can stop the game, 6 seconds to go on the shot clock and draw up a play. Now the kids are being taught how to draw up a last-second play or a play to beat the shot clock, or how to find a shooter or an inside play, or how to draw up a play so your best ball carrier can get inside and drive. So it, again, just emphasizes the development and really empowers the kids' game knowledge. So another reason, state-of-the-art venue, Stonington Sports Centre is amazing. It's got 4 brilliant courts. They've got the ringleader backboards. They've got shot clocks on the top of every scoreboard, which makes it so much easier for coaches and players to play with that shot clock. The temperature control in there is amazing. They've got a canteen at the front. They've got parking downstairs, which you can see in here. A lot of that is undercover. Now, they're pretty strict, though, on the amount of time. You've got a 2-hour period in there because it's right next door to Chadstone, and they don't want people doing their shopping at Chadstone and using their car parks. If you want to shop at Chadstone, my suggestion would be park your car at Chadstone and walk across to the stadium, because literally it's a 5-minute walk, if that, to get to the stadium. Upstairs here, there's an amazing lawn bowls area, and for those who are keen on a Saturday, there's a bar area run by the Lawn Bowls Club. So it has got pretty much everything. Their change rooms are amazing. Their toilets are amazing. Everything there's brand new. It's just a fantastic facility. This is what I was talking about before, a development and competition focus. So I think I've covered that. I think that makes it pretty exciting. And what we want to do is develop 3 levels of basketball over the next few years. BMBA Invitational Elite Division, we've changed that to Super Bowl Division. So that'll be for the higher level domestic teams who are looking for more than what they get out of their domestic. We've then got a Central Districts rep competition. Yes, we understand that there's rep ball through the VJBL, but we want clubs, schools, and academies to be able to form their own rep teams. So we're going to be putting this across. So the beauty of what we're saying here, if you're a club, for example, you can bring kids in from your introduction programs, put them in your under 10s, under 12s, and then get your best kids. So there's no point system in our competition, 0. Bring your best teams and put them in our rep competition or our Super Bowl competition. And, you know, it's the best coach, best teams win. So that's, again, where we're a lot different. But for 8 weeks, everyone will be developing and trying new things. But come tournament time, you know, then it'll be game on. So that'll be great. So the domestic vision is catered more for teams that aren't at the top level elite, but they still want to have a crack at a longer game time and a shot clock, or, you know, some unique features. That will be our domestic division. And we'll be pretty strict there to make sure it's for domestic kids, not rep kids. So there will be a bylaw in that this is for beginner teams and teams who want to look at it. So there's what I was saying before, bring your best teams. You don't have to worry about point systems with us. You'll be able to play whatever level. You could be a Vic Championship kid. You're more than welcome to come in and play. Other kids have got to get good enough. As we grow this, we are going to be giving out season prizes to the organisations that have the most success. This is not about an administrative prize. This is about, you know, the clubs that come in and, for example, we hope by the end of 2026 to have competitions going from even under 10s through to at least under 16s. We're happy to put an under 18 team in there on both boys and girls. And if your club or program wins the most amount of titles, they're going to get a season prize. Or we're working on this on how we're going to do it. There could be a season prize for each age group and competition. Depends on the sponsors we get involved. But we're definitely going to be putting some sort of end-of-season prize for the club that comes out on top or the team that comes out on top. And becoming an original, look, we don't have a huge amount of court space. We've got enough to accommodate competitions. But, if you're one of the original ones in, we're going to back you. So there's a lot of advantage on getting on this first. You'll get a lot of you won't get a lot of priority. You will get priority over clubs who come in late. So the sooner you get involved, the more priority you're going to get. If no one gets involved and it's all BMBA teams, well, we'll just cater for those as we move forward. But we'd love to offer to other clubs and groups to get involved straight away. And the other part here is you can join our competitions at any time. Because we've structured it, you might hear about this, for example, halfway through, or other people might get an interest halfway through term 1 next year. Because we're doing these development games, well, they can join in any time, get 5 development games in, and then jump on board for the end of term tournament. So there's no reason we can't bring in teams midstream. So we're happy to have teams and clubs join in at any time. We'd welcome that. Anything to grow the competition, give it a bit more variety and diversity, we're very keen on. The participation format, we're open. We don't care. Our goal when starting this is to get kids into basketball, We're not too sure about I shouldn't say we're not too sure. We don't care about their involvement as long as it's supervised and as long as the kids have got proper coaching. What we don't want is teams are coming in and just going to stuff around, don't have a coach, and all they're doing is launching threes from half court and making it an unenjoyable experience for everybody else in. So they've either got to come in under a school banner, a club banner, an academy banner, or even if they don't have any of that, they can come in under our BMBA banner and make sure they adhere to what we want from the teams in participating in these competitions properly. So right now we've got a bunch of things happening through Stonington. I'll get back on there. I might have. Yep, you got my ugly mug back. We've got a bunch of things happening at Stonington, whether you're a beginner kid, whether you've got kids who are beginners, whether you've got clubs, whether you represent a club or an academy. None of that is important to us. Well, I shouldn't say it's not important. It is important to us, but we're happy to accommodate whatever participation model brings kids and teams into the competition. So when I say it's not important to us, we will work with whatever is presented to us to make sure that we get these sort of competitions we want up. That brings a lot of satisfaction, a lot of development, a lot of new concepts, a lot of new structures, and a lot of excitement in a junior basketball in this region again. So we think it can be done better. We know. Just for those who might not know me, I've been doing this for 35 years now. I've coached at every level. I've coached Vic Championship teams, Big V teams. I've had 4 players that I used to coach in juniors go on and play NBL. I've got another one coming through now. I've had a bunch of them go on and play AFL. I've coached the lower domestics, the absolute beginners. I've run clubs, built associations, helped out basketball friends with their clubs. So I've seen it all, done it all. And I've had a lot of success in developing players and teams. So we want to help clubs, help teams, help individuals get the very best out of their basketball. And we think we can do it better. Don't think, we know we can do it better. And that's what we're intent on providing. So we are looking forward to get some expressions of interest from other clubs, other programs, other people. And we want to get our competitions up and running. If you're looking for training for your kids, we can provide that. If you're looking for training in games for your kids, we can provide that. If you're from another club and you're looking for another competition for kids, we can provide that. If your kid has missed out on rep ball and still wants to play a high level, we can provide that. And in fact, over the journey, we'll think a lot of our competitions will get to a higher level than a lot of what other rep competitions do. Sadly, rep has become something that's no longer as representative what it used to be. It used to be quite a thing to get into rep teams. Now, you see some rep clubs having 10, 15 teams in an age group. It's lost its allure of what it used to be. So we're going to be trying to get that back and do it through, not associations, but through clubs. If associations want to enter teams, we'll have no problem in accommodating that. But now a kid can start with a club, play with the club, play rep ball with the club, play elite level competitions with the club through our format in the Super Bowl, and do it all in a fantastic venue. So whether you're a parent of a kid who's just looking for something more fulfilling for their basketball, whether you're a person who represents a club, school, or academy, we think we can accommodate everything that you're looking for. So, get in touch. So there's some of the things. So I think that gives a pretty good overview of what we provide at the BMBA. So now this next section goes to my BMBA participants. Look, we had a great win on the weekend for our under-14 boys. Under-14 boys, for those who are following, we play them out of Dandenong. We play them out of Dandenong because it's the strongest competition I've seen domestically going around. We've certainly been challenged there, where we used to do very well, for example, at Sandringham, make grand final after grand final, won a couple. We're not doing that at Dandenong. The competition is far stronger. So we've struggled a bit, but the boys are getting better. And on the weekend, they had their first win. We're an under-14 team, technically playing in an under-15 team. So we played some monsters. So the boys are learning how to play against big guys. Well, that's basketball, isn't it? So they've done really well. They're learning every week. They're a really good bunch of boys. Shout out to Zachy Chester. He got 17 points on the weekend. Hopefully his match-winning basket counts. And the boys learn on the weekend, even if they don't play really well, if they play hard all game, they can still eke out a win. So hopefully that holds us in good stead going forward. Our under-12 mix are having a ball on the Friday nights. One of our girls, Evelyn, shout out. She used to say she couldn't get any points in the game. Well, on Friday night, she got 5 baskets, 10 points, did a great job, and it was fantastic to see her smile on her face. We had a couple of more of our advanced under-12 kids, and here's the beauty of the way we do our competitions. You know, they were dominating, and they basically got told by me and their coaches, because I was reffing, sadly, that they had to start passing the ball more and get the other kids involved, or we would stop them scoring. And to their credit, the boys then started passing to a lot of the other kids in the team, and as well as scoring themselves. So they made their teammates better, but they also, just as importantly, made themselves better. So this is some of the things we do differently at the BMBA. We try and get more kids involved, because the only way you can build confidence is if kids get a touch and they get to contribute towards these teams. If all of that happens, then they'll build in confidence and your whole team grows. If you don't do that and you just rely on your strongest players all the time, when that stronger player is injured, sick, unavailable, your team's going to struggle. So we don't want that. And at the BMBA, we're not going to tell other clubs how to coach their teams. We do think that maybe, you could learn from what we're doing. So in the coming weeks, we'll be putting up sharing some of our strategies on how we evolve our players, how we develop them. And clubs can come out, and we're going to be moving forward sometimes in 2026. We're going to be providing some coaching courses and referees courses. Speaking of which, just bear with me. There was something I have missed. I'll get it up. If you are a parent or you know of someone who is looking to get involved in basketball again, I'll just get this up because I forgot to put this up. Sorry. We are on the hunt for people who want to be referees. So this old fart doesn't have to go around and run the courts again. Or who want to be, I'll just get this up. Share screen. So we're definitely looking for referees. If all this up, you can get this off our website. Again, it's on our website. Again, I will show you that in a minute. So we definitely want to get referees, whether they're current referees, past referees, or people learning how to be a referee. We're keen to talk to them. We're going to have a different concept on how we evolve our referee. We're going to call it a department, not a branch. Our referees are some of our most important people in our organisation, and we're going to treat them that way. And we're going to give them a clear pathway on how they get to leadership roles and the more fulfilling roles, not just financially in the pay, but just the more fulfilling role in the way they go about it with our others. We are hoping to get the personnel right, that ultimately we can provide 3 referees like they do in the NBA and the NBL to officiate our games. That's where we want to get to. And we've got a plan behind that on getting it there. So if you know anyone who is looking for some extra dollars, wants to get fit, but just as importantly, wants to get involved in something quite unique and special, we would love to hear from them. If they're a past referee, we just say, don't bring your old baggage in. Just be prepared to have a look at the different way we're doing it. And then they're more than welcome. And, we think we can do something very exciting on the referee side of things. Just as importantly, I am looking for coaches. We're going to need more coaches as we form more teams. That's my ugly mug in there with one of the best teams I ever coached. I need coaches who've either got experience or have playing experience and want to learn how to coach. I don't want a parent who just wants to do the job. And there's nothing wrong with parents who want to do the job in a voluntary capacity, but that's not what the BMBA is about. We want to provide professional experience coaching to our BMBA participants. If you are a parent who can provide that, that's great. But just heads up, we're not going to be allowing parents to coach their kids. We want to avoid that conflict. So your kid, if you've got a kid, they can more than welcome come in the BMBA. They're going to get fantastic coaching. but you will not be coaching them in games. You'll be supporting them, cheering them on, spectating their games, enjoying watching it. But if you want to coach, we'll give you a team you can be independent with, and then that avoids a lot of conflict for parents, coaches, and players, and us in the administration. We think the best way to avoid that conflict is not to put it in place in the first time. As we say, all our coaches get paid. It's not voluntary. So they'll be expected to toe the line in the way we do our program. They will be also able to contribute to it. So if you know of anyone, they could be a university student, they could be a brother, they could be a parent, they could be anybody who wants to get involved in a really professional coaching program that trains their coaches, gives them the support they need, where they get paid for the hours they put in, get them in contact with us. If the referees get paid, our coaches should get paid as well. So that is something unique, again, that we're going to be doing. And then the delivery that we're going to give our participants will be second to none when we've got better officiating, better coaching, longer game times, shot clocks, fully timed games, the unique structure we've got. There's a lot of reasons to be wanting a part of the BMBA. So there again is me. So yeah, that is it. From what I can see, I got one view. I might have a few more on YouTube. If you've got any questions, certainly now's a great time to be sending those through, and I can try and answer them for you. For my BMBA participants, just a reminder: under 14 boys, we have got our date coming off, our cut-up date for the tournaments. The Eltham Dandenong in particular. We've got 2 tournaments we need to get onto. So the Eltham Dandenong is on the weekend before school goes back, just on the weekend. I'm not going to say before Australia Day. So this year the Australia Day falls on the Monday. So that weekend is when the tournament's on, and then the kids go back to school. So we'd like to get a team into that. We've already got 2 yeses for that. If you know of someone else and you're watching and you'd be keen, I'm happy for them to come down to training and have a look, and we'll have a look at them and see whether they are a good fit for the team. And if they are, we're happy to accommodate them in our tournaments. The other tournament we've got is the Labor Day weekend tournament, the Southeast Junior Basketball Tournament. We've played in that a couple of times. So they're the 2 main ones we need to get sorted out before Christmas. So if you can do that, great. The other part we've got is registrations coming up, and there'll be details coming out about that this week. And we're also going to look at potentially some holiday training, especially if we've got a team going into the tournament. The week before that tournament, we want to put them into a camp-like structure. So that information will be all coming out this week. I do apologise for the information we've sent. We've been sending a lot of information. But as it is always before Christmas, there's a lot happening. So, we're really looking forward to 2026. So that's our first BMBA podcast. For those who don't know what BMBA stands for, if you're new to that, that's the Bobman Basketball Academy. But we're also going to be using that acronym to become the broader Melbourne Basketball Association, or the broader Metropolitan Basketball Association. So it both fits in. So we'll see how it goes. For right now, it's just BMBA Basketball. So the Temple Warriors, as we are, and we have evolved from the Oakley Warriors, and we're now going to be building it all up through Stonington Sports Centre and the Stonington LGA and surrounding areas to begin with. So there'll be bigger plans than that moving forward, but that's our first step. So if you want to be involved in a basketball organisation, whether we call it a club, organisation, don't really know, we are structured differently for new people. We are not an association. We are actually a company. We actually are a share company as well. So if you ever want to buy shares, just get in contact. That gives parents a chance to become stakeholders, for example, gives players and coaches a chance to do likewise. So we're structured totally different, and we've done that so we keep away from the politics that tears at the seams of a lot of basketball associations and clubs. We just want to be focused on the kids and their basketball, none of the politics. So that's going to be a key thing moving forward for all of us. And we're looking forward to what we can do in the next 2 to 5 years. So getting in now, right when we're starting, is a good time to start. So anyway, that's enough from me. I think I've talked on it for long enough. Not getting any questions. I'll just check my YouTube channel, see if we've got any questions coming through from there. I don't think we have. We'll see. Just bear with me. If you do have a question and you are watching, comment, question, feedback, send it all through. My internet's been a bit slow today and cut off a few times, so I'm grateful to get this one up. Where's live? Should have checked this, actually. I didn't check it to make sure I had sound and everything. BMBA Podcast live. There we go. For some reason. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting up. I want to make sure there's no questions. Okay, got no questions over there. And we've been going 40 minutes. Don't know who's watching, but if you're watching, I hope we've answered a lot of your questions. We're not getting any through. That's all right. I'll be sending a link for this out in an email, and next week we'll be coming back. We'll be doing this every Monday, 7 o'clock, up until Christmas. Then we'll take a bit of a break, and then we'll be back just before the Eltham Dandenong tournament, just talking all things basketball. So, yeah, that's enough for one night. We're obviously not going to get any questions through, which is fine. And, oh, God, don't know why that's come up. And we will talk to you all next Monday, 7 o'clock. We'll have more news, more updates. And who knows, we might have a guest or two on in the next few weeks. Anyway, good night, everyone. Glad to get through our first episode. From next week, we'll try and break down one competition at a time, one program at a time. All right. Oh, I did say, sorry, before I go, I did say I'd just take you through the website. So let me get that up. I'll just give you a bit of a run through, just so you know where to find information. So there's our website. It's bmba.net.au. And you'll see up here, that's just our news stream, what we're talking about, coaches, referees, under 12s, 14s. Well, I've got another video to add up in there, which I haven't shown you. And here are our programs. So if you go to programs, it brings up everything, after schools training, the BMBA Invitational, which we're talking about, domestic Super Bowl and representative, BMBA Basketball Plus, that's our training, BMBA Games Plus, which we spoke about before, IDB Games program, which we talked about before, Kids First, IDB training, getting started with us. We do have a Christian element into it, so you can read through that, make sure you're comfortable with that. And we're not evangelizing or anything. It's just at the core of what we do, which you can probably pick by the Red Cross, how we go about things. And then you've got a lot there about us, events that could be on, the invitational, getting started. We have a GoFundMe page. I don't think anyone ever looks at it. The playbook, you need a code to go to that. Our coaches would get definitely access to that. Not everyone else does. And that's just our services and what we do. And if you're a potential investor or sponsor, have a look through those pages on that. These are our competitions. So our Games Plus, IDP, Invitational. We have a tryout, but when we say tryout, it's more for the parents and players to try us out than the other way around. And unlike a lot of clubs, when we do tryout sessions, parents are more than welcome to come in and see how we go about it. We don't kick parents out of tryout sessions. Yeah, and these are expressions of interest, all that sort of thing. So there's a bunch of information. You can find it all out here on our website, bmba.net.au. Now, just to finish off with, which I nearly forgot, so I am sorry. Just to finish off with, we'll show you two promo videos. This might get a few questions going up. So the first one, if I can find it. Just gone quiet. tell you what, I'll get this. This is for the game stuff. So this is for the game stuff on the Friday. While I'm doing that, I'll get the other one up. Be nice to get a bit of feedback on our videos. Let's see. So share and play.
BMBA Basketball is excited to announce that we have commenced junior basketball matches at Stonigan Sports Centre on Friday nights. Now we're inviting you to join us in these exciting new match concepts and structures. Our games are played at the magnificent Stonigan Sports Centre located next door to the Chadstone Shopping Centre. These courts are modern, have great temperature control and have fantastic facilities to host junior basketball matches. Our kids are now enjoying playing at this magnificent venue. On top of that, they are also enjoying the new features and concepts of junior BMBA matches. Features and concepts not seen before in junior matches in Melbourne. These features include a fully timed 60-minute match schedule, where the game clock stops on every whistle. This means there is no wasted time and our juniors get to play every minute of their match. Our juniors are also enjoying playing with a shot clock in each of their games. This provides another unique and exciting aspect to our junior matches. Due to these features, our players and coaches will gain more of the elite level experience. This will develop both their game knowledge and understanding. Buzzer beater plays will be an exciting part of our competitions. At BMBA Basketball, we are committed to providing junior basketballers with opportunities not found anywhere else. We are thrilled that we have now begun that basketball journey. To achieve this, we are also committed to very important things. We will be providing the best coaching program in Melbourne, where we cater for the development of coaches to an elite level. We will also be delivering a professional, efficient and service-orientated referees department, delivering officiating to our juniors in a unique and innovative manner. This is just a taste of some of the exciting initiatives we intend to implement for our junior basketballers at Stonigan Sports Centre. Now we want to welcome even more boys and girls into BMBA teams to join us in these wonderful competitions. All clubs, schools and basketball academies can join with us by entering their own teams. Our juniors are waiting in anticipation to welcome you for some great basketball competition. So get in touch to get started today. Go to our website for more details on these competitions, their features and concepts, and why they will deliver your juniors so much more for their basketball.
Okay, so that's one. These are all AI generated, believe it or not. We'll replace the next one with this one.
Basketball, we nurture the champion within every athlete. Step inside our state-of-the-art courts at Stonigan Sports Centre, located in East Melbourne, where skills are developed through expert coaching and high-energy sessions. Our passionate coaches focus on the game's fundamentals.
Sorry guys, we missed the start.
Every great player starts with a single bounce. At BMBA Basketball, we nurture the champion within every athlete. Step inside our state-of-the-art courts at Stonigan Sports Centre, located in East Melbourne, where skills are developed through expert coaching and high-energy sessions. Our passionate coaches focus on the game's fundamentals, ball handling, shooting and defense, giving players a strong foundation. Each session is tailored to skill level, ensuring both beginners and advanced players are challenged and supported. Meet Coach Bob Mann, a 35-year veteran, who guides the BMBA program and our young athletes with real-world experience and personal attention. Teamwork is at the core of BMBA Basketball. Young players build friendships while learning to trust and support one another. With structured drills and engaging scrimmages, athletes can put new skills to the test in a fun, competitive environment. Parents are an important part of the journey, receiving progress updates and seeing firsthand the growth in confidence and ability. Watch your child transform, growing stronger, faster and more resilient with every practice. Every victory, big or small, is celebrated. We recognize dedication, sportsmanship, and a positive attitude. Ready to join the BMBA family? Sign up today and give your child the ultimate basketball experience. To begin your child's BMBA basketball journey, scan this QR code. BMBA Basketball, where champions are made and lifelong skills are forged.
So that is our other video. So hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of that in the coming months. There's a couple more we're going to be doing for coaches and referees. But these days and times, you can't get by without a social media presence. So speaking of which, these podcasts should be hopefully a very valuable contributor. For those who are watching this, spread the word. Monday, 7 o'clock, we'll be on here. We'll be certainly adding extra sessions into what we're doing or aspects to it. We might, for example, do a bit of an NBA talk around or an NBL one. So we'll see how we go with all of that. But for now, that's enough from us. I think we presented a lot of information for the first one, and we will look to be sharing and talking about all things BMBA basketball every Monday night, 7 o'clock on this podcast. So get other people on it, get them subscribing to our YouTube channel, and we'll be sending out links to the episodes that we're doing. So from me, he's down on the floor, and my assistant, there he is. He's got up. Oh no, he's going. What are you doing? So from me and my assistant, all I say is good night, and we'll see you next Monday at 7 o'clock. Bye for now.